All right, everybody. It is me, Sacred G, and as by the title, you can definitely tell this is going to be a spicy video. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into either three or four. I have not scripted this. Three or four. I don't even script my videos, anyways. Three or four of my unpopular Fallout opinions. So let's go. The first, oh, unpopular Fallout opinion that I have is literally the dialogue system isn't as bad as people say. I'm not saying you can't criticize it, I'm not saying you can't like it. However, I just don't think that it's as bad as people say. Yeah, you can't read your responses. Yes, there are only four of them. But for the most part, what the dialogue prompt suggests, they usually actually are pretty accurate. When I choose the circle or B if you're playing on PlayStation, Xbox, or the right hand or dialogue option is usually the jackass douchebag response. Those have actually been pretty accurate. Like you respond in either a neutral, because sarcastic is more of like a neutral response, and of course, as I said, you have, your douchebag jackass response, and you just have your, polite good guy response, and then you have question. And I think, honestly, because I played the game for so long, honestly, I've grown accustomed to it. I believe is why I don't really give a fuck about the criticisms. Yeah, you can't read them, and that's fair. It's just, I don't think that, I believe that the dialogue options actually are pretty accurate with the descriptions given. And I honestly know what to say for certain characters that I do decide to make in certain scenarios. So that's my first unpopular Fallout opinion. My second unpopular Fallout opinion is that, well, New Vegas is slightly overrated. Yes, I actually do like New Vegas, and I like Fallout 4, so, they're both overrated. But a lot of people, like the common consensus online, is that New Vegas is the better Fallout. Yes, the writing is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best writing in a Fallout game. I think most of the stories, even if I haven't played the game, sound pretty tight, honestly. The first two in mind, but Fallout New Vegas pulled some of the same shit Fallout 4 did. Like, for an example, one of the biggest disappointing things, in my opinion, about New Vegas that ruins the whole blank slate is literally Lonesome Road. Like, yeah, you could say, oh, I don't remember doing that, or I had no idea. Ulysses still insists that your character, caused the divide. Like, you get this whole monologue so far from what I played of it for a good portion of the DLC whenever you talk to him. And it just, I don't know why they just didn't include that in the beginning, because in Prim, I don't know if anyone caught this, Ulysses is tongue-in-cheek referenced, and I don't know why they couldn't just say that your character may have caused devastation for a community. But no, they decided to drop that in a DLC, completely fucking the headcanon, because, man, I didn't play New Vegas when it came out and when the DLCs were releasing, but I could imagine if I was to, and I built this whole headcanon for my courier, and then Lonesome Road drops, now I have a workaround that's just fucking dropped on me for no reason. And not only that, the Mojave, I don't think is that boring, but I mean, Jesus Christ, I could see what people are saying. The beginning half is soft railroaded. The game literally persuades you to go the safer route. Most of the NPCs suggest you take Highway 16, which is where most of the content is. And the Cazador's Death Claws, which, by the way, it's not just Cazador's in the behind Good Springs area. It's also Rad Scorpions. Those are soft lock placement enemies, and I think most of the playthroughs are going to end up being the same, especially for people who, besides the factions and choices you make, but in terms of how you get to New Vegas is going to be the same, especially for people who play on the harder difficulties where those enemy types become way more deadly, and especially for run and gun characters who have no investment in stealth or sneaking whatsoever. And some of the fucking choices just kind of, like, most of the dialogue too just feels more like snooping rather than actually meaningful conversations. Like, I get it, it's cool to talk to like a lot of NPCs and to get, to know them, even vaguely or fully. I just think it feels like fucking snooping. Does that make New Vegas a bad game? Absolutely not. Does it make it flawed? Yes. And just like Fallout 4, it's a flawed but great game. All right, my third unpopular Fallout opinion. Here we go. I have no desire to play the first two games. I have tried. I have sat there and I kept telling myself at one point, I was like, I'm going to play this through. Managed to get out of the tutorial sequence, but fucking A, man, isn't that area hard? Like, holy fuck. And also the turn-based, I'm not a fan of turn-based RPGs, to be honest. I prefer, like, the real-time combat rather than the, turn-based style. The only turn-based style games or RPGs that I actually can, a little side note, stand is so far Baldur's Gate 3 and a bit of Divinity 2. But for the most part, I just don't like how they designed it in the first Fallout game. Not saying that, I think it's, bad, so it is. No, there are people who enjoy it, and that's fine. They seem like great games. As I said, their stories are pretty tight from what I've heard about them. It's just, I can't get into it, man. I just don't like the gameplay style. I just prefer the 3D openness which New Vegas and Fallout 4 provide. And I just have no desire to fucking play them besides having them in my collection on Steam. And I don't know how unpopular this opinion is going to be, but this is the last one, and that is, I believe, the leveling and perk system in Fallout 4 is a lot better than the leveling system in Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Not just New Vegas, Fallout 3 as well. Because when you level up in Fallout 4, no menu forces you to spend your, stat points or your level points, perk points, whatever the fuck. You level up in Fallout 4, that's it. And also Skyrim 2, but that's beside the point. You just level up in Fallout 4, and also New Vegas, a fucking menu pops up. You have to spend your points. There's no way around it. And Fallout 4 kind of allows you to make or break your character in terms of, like, role-playing more so than... Well, no, New Vegas does too. I was going to say 3 New Vegas, but no, New Vegas... Yeah, whatever. But anywho, you can control what and how good your character is at something. If you invested in intelligence, you don't have to invest in every fucking perk that has an intelligence stat or an intelligence, buff or whatever, or that's related to intelligence, like nuclear physicist or chemist. You don't need to spend any points on that unless your character delves heavy into chems. And the funny thing is, you can control, or not, how good at the fucking skill your character is in Fallout 4. In New Vegas, you can't. You have to, like, max, or not New Vegas, specifically New Vegas, but also Fallout 3, you have to level up your character, which is a bit annoying because you're going to end up maxing out a skill super fast instead of being able to pace yourself to put restrictions on your character on your own time. I just prefer the perk system because of those fucking reasons, and I still have room to experiment with it, especially with what I was just saying, like only getting, let's say, lockpick or charisma. Not charisma. Actually, fuck that. Lockpicking. I could get that up to a 3 and just leave it and say, this is how much my character knows, and this is their skill set and what they can lockpick and what they can't. But in 3 in New Vegas, you have to level up or choose a skill to improve, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, doesn't make them bad games. I am not saying that these games are bad. Okay, I am not saying that. I just prefer the perk system in Fallout 4. So, those are my 4 unpopular opinions. I can think of a 5th one, honestly, but, yeah. What are your unpopular Fallout opinions? And no, saying Fallout 4 is a bad RPG is not an unpopular opinion. It's been parroted quite a bit. It's actually the common consensus. So that's not excluding that. What are some of your unpopular Fallout opinions? That could be gameplay mechanics, stories, companions, even characters, whatever. So, without further ado, that's me, Sacred G. Catch you in the next video. Peace the fuck out. Goodbye.